1 week ago today, Senator Robert Dole died in his sleep, ending an extraordinary life that lasted for more than 98 years. Dole's passing came nearly 77 years after, by all rights, he should have died as a 21-year-old second lieutenant in the United States Army who was shot and temporarily paralyzed by the Germans while fighting in the mountains of Italy during World War II. Dole survived miraculously and became the very personification of what Tom Brokaw named the greatest generation. This week, admirers from across the political spectrum said goodbye to Senator Dole and to an era of American politics. NBC's chief foreign affairs correspondent Andrea Mitchell, who covered Dole for many years, has our Sunday focus.
The nation's political leaders brought together for one shining moment to honor a war hero and elder Republican statesman, Bob Dole. Nancy Pelosi leaning over to chat amiably with her political nemesis, Mitch McConnell. Bill Clinton turning to talk to former Vice President Dan Quayle. Even the political odd couple of polar opposites, Amy Klobuchar and Ted Cruz, in deep conversation. A brief echo of the bipartisanship of years past, when Dole was Republican leader, befriending a young Joe Biden.
We served together for 25 years. We disagreed, but we were never disagreeable with one another.
A far cry from the toxic rhetoric in Congress that seems commonplace these days. Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert slurring her Muslim Democratic colleague Ilhan Omar.
I looked over and I said, "Oh, look, the Jihad Squad decided to show up for work today." And I said, "Well, she doesn't have a backpack. We should be fine."
And what is unprecedented and what is tragic is the descent of transgression in this body.
A bare-knuckles fight over the Biden social spending plan.
The American people would be a lot better off if this reckless tax and spending package never passed.
We got a new name for the GOP, the Grand Old Phonies.
And both parties divided among themselves. Progressive Democrats stymied for months by moderate Democratic Senators Manchin and Sinema over the infrastructure bill, and former President Trump's unprecedented refusal to concede, leading to House Republicans excommunicating Congresswoman Liz Cheney from party leadership for supporting an investigation into the former president's role in the January 6th insurrection, when the political debate turned violent.
I'll never forgive former President of the United States and his lackeys and his bullies that he sent to the Capitol.
Bob Dole could be fiercely partisan, but he also knew how to lighten his dark moments with humor. As when 2 months after losing his 1996 challenge to Bill Clinton's second term, Dole was in the White House, receiving the Medal of Freedom from the man who had vanquished him.
I, Robert J. Dole, do solemnly swear. Sorry, wrong speech.
And Dole built his Senate career on also working across the aisle.
And Bob never hesitated to work with Democrats to get things done.
With Daniel Patrick Moynihan to rescue Social Security in the 1980s, and Iowa liberal Tom Harkin and Teddy Kennedy to pass the Americans with Disability Act in the 1990s. The president reminding his fellow politicians how it used to be with Bob Dole.
We genuinely respected one another as colleagues, as fellow Americans. It was real. It wasn't fake. And we became great friends.
Does it take a funeral to remind elected officials that they used to get along?
It's almost like looking at Pompeii, Andrea. We're looking at a bygone era that maybe someday will come back, but it's not going to happen anytime very soon.
And Andrea joins me now live. Andrea, it is so great to see you on a Sunday morning. Boy, there's always nostalgia and romanticism when we look back at an earlier time. But Bob Dole really and truly does come from a different era of politics. So the question is, how did things change so relatively quickly in Washington?
You're so right, Willie. Good morning to you, and it's great to be with you. Well, some former senators blame social media for poisoning the atmosphere and the degree that elected officials now rely on campaign contributions from special interests and PACs in order to get reelected. So they're always running around the country to raise money instead of being here and working on what needs to be done in Washington. But whatever the reasons, the kind of bipartisan friendships that I used to see on Capitol Hill for years and years, particularly when Bob Dole served there, now seem like ancient history, and those friendships often led to landmark legislation. A quaint relic of times gone by, Willie.
Sad to see, but we'll hold on to some of those images, like Bob Dole giving his inauguration address, standing there with President Bill Clinton. Andrea Mitchell, thank you so much. That was such a great report.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.